How did we get here? Let's take a look. Pulled all the electronics out of the boat, removed the outboard motor. The painting has begun. I'm going with this Class Coat. It's a true two-part epoxy paint. So I mix these, the color and the hardener 1-to-1. Let that set in a pot for a half hour for it to kick. Then I reduce it 1-to-1 after these two parts are mixed. So half of the paint color, 1/2 part of the reducer, thin it enough to use this pre-wall painting system. So you get this with the cartridges. Bought them off Amazon. I buy a dozen cartridges at a time. It's got a nice spray handle and nozzle, nice feel to it. This cartridge has a hole in the bottom and it pressurizes this glass container, pushes the paint up through the tube, and you spray with it. So nice balance, nice feel to it, and nice spray pattern. But you have to get it thinned enough, get the mix right, so it sprays right. Too thick and it'll spray with like a spatter. So I've got 2 coats of white laid down, 2 light coats. I sanded the sealer almost all the way off, and then I learned this from a professional painter. I use denatured alcohol. He said wipe your whatever you're painting down with denatured alcohol before you paint it. You'll never get a fisheye. So sanded the sealer, laid down a light coat of the white epoxy paint. Then I sand that in between, wipe it down again with the denatured alcohol, and put down 2 coats. Our weather has turned cold on us again. It's just after lunchtime. It's 21 degrees out. And here is the TunnelJet with the first 2 light coats of white on it. I have it in here by the wood stove to finish curing. This true 2-part epoxy paint gives off some nasty fumes. So I fired up the wood stove in my shop and I painted out there, and then let it flash off and kind of set for probably about 2 hours. Then it's pretty much done giving off fumes. Bring it in here, hang it by the wood stove, and nothing will cure out a nice coat of epoxy paint like the heat from a wood stove. Came up with a little sketch here of the side of the cowling and the top of one sponson, laying out a color scheme. The lined panel, it's going to be orange, and where it's colored in solid, it's going to be black. So got my colors too, orange, black, and white. I got it taped up, got the orange laid down. Now I got the tape pulled and a couple little spots where I had a little bleeding cleaned up. That's a lot of taping for a couple of little black stripes. Oh my, I think I nailed it with these colors. Bam! There it is. White, orange, and black. To my way of thinking, it's always a bit of a risk choosing your color scheme and the layout. What I mean by that is orange and white is a tried and true combination, but I think it's the black mixed in that makes the combination of colors pop. And then as far as the color layout, going with these sharp corners instead of curves, I think it really complements the sharpness and the narrow profile of these sponsons. Then it was a matter of laying these lines out with how they flare out in the front, drop down the back on the cowling, and echoing that in the color scheme on the sponsons. I make my windshields from airplane covering. It has heat activated adhesive on the back side. I find that holds better than a decal. So I can cut out any windshield I want, iron it on. Here is the pattern. That's a 1/4 inch grid. Suppose if you wanted to copy it, you could do a screenshot and size it on your printer. Let's check the all-up weight. This is running on 2S. The LiPo is in the boat. $386 grams. So 372 grams, and this is ready to run. I have one coat of thin sealer on every surface, inside and out. So I kept the weight of that paint down pretty good. Only thing left to put on the boat is I do have some decals ordered, but that won't add much at all. New setting I'm going to try with the depth of the outboard motor. I have the center line of the prop shaft even with the bottom of the sponsons. So I'm going to loosen her up some more. That, along with these 29 thou washers for a more negative angle on the prop shaft. See how that handles. TunnelJet is painted. Yes, sir.